In an episode that clearly illustrated the growing outrage among British citizens, a television journalist lost all patience with a Labour MP during a live broadcast, and not without reason. The MP, echoing Labour's latest official talking points, claimed that the government is regaining control of the asylum system. However, the reality paints a very different picture. Despite Labour's optimistic rhetoric, illegal sea crossings via the Channel have reached record levels, with no sign of slowing down. At the same time, the criminal networks facilitating human trafficking continue to operate with virtually no consequences, mocking a government that appears either incapable or unwilling to take decisive action. The host, capturing the frustration felt by much of the British electorate, refused to let the MP distort the facts. He pushed back firmly, exposing the blatant falsehoods and empty reassurances that have become a hallmark of Labour's handling of this migration crisis. The question now hanging in the air is a simple one. Can the public trust the Labour government to tell the truth at all? Because on key issues such as illegal immigration, national security, and sovereignty, their statements no longer reflect the reality experienced by ordinary citizens. And it is British society that bears the consequences. In today's video, we'll break all of this down in detail. But first, don't forget to support the channel by giving this video a like and subscribing for more analysis like this. Now, let's review what happened during that tense exchange on national television. The presenter, visibly exasperated, confronted the Labour MP by pointing out that while it's true the British public expects its government to defend the country, it's hard to take that promise seriously when it can't even secure the nation's own borders. As illegal channel crossings continue to break records, Labour's response has been to downplay the issue, suggesting that many migrants are simply arriving due to the UK's climate. In the same debate, the MP defended his party's record on defence, noting that it was a previous Labour government that raised military spending to 2.5% of GDP. He criticised the Conservative government for scrapping that target and slashing the defence budget. According to him, the current administration has recommitted to that goal and even aims to go beyond it. On that basis, he assured viewers that when it comes to national defense, the government is acting responsibly, whether through policy decisions, strategic investments, or clear commitment to the armed forces. Nevertheless, the issue of border control remains a major vulnerability. Criminal networks continue to operate with impunity, and the number of migrants arriving by sea remains at unprecedented levels, even after nearly a full year of Labour in government. At this point, the previous administration can no longer be blamed. Full accountability now lies with those currently in power. The government claims that the use of hotels to house asylum seekers has been reduced, though it concedes that this is not enough. They also report a one-third increase in the number of deportations, as evidence that they are beginning to regain control of the system. They acknowledge that much work remains, and that the excessive hotel costs are a direct result of past policy failures, particularly the open borders approach. However, they insist that new strategies are now being implemented to reverse the situation. Among the key efforts, they highlight a bilateral agreement with France, which they describe as strong on paper but in need of effective enforcement. The aim, they say, is to stop the flow of migrants before they cross the Channel, and for that, new legal and operational powers are being developed to dismantle the gangs profiting from human trafficking. Social media reactions came swiftly. One user commented, "It's clear they've got no control whatsoever. They just go on TV and lie, repeating the same thing until it sounds true. But now we've got the tools to expose them online." Another wrote, "We'll see if they actually break up those gangs. Personally, I highly doubt it." And a third concluded, "They are nothing but slimy liars. What they say is absolute rubbish." What's your take? Let us know in the comments and join the conversation. In other news, Richard Tice has confirmed that Zia Youssef was subjected to severe online abuse prior to his unexpected resignation as chairman of Reform UK last Thursday. The party MP told the press that Youssef had been fully dedicated to his role for nearly a year, working relentlessly day in and day out, taking on responsibilities that would normally be shared across several individuals, and excelling at all of them. However, the workload ultimately took its toll. In an unexpected turn of events, just 2 days after stepping down, Youssef returned to the party on Saturday. He publicly admitted that his resignation had been hasty and was the result of extreme exhaustion. Richard Tice shared details of his return, announcing that Youssef will now head the Doge Unit, the newly formed Department of Government Efficiency. He explained that ISEF had been under intense pressure for 11 consecutive months, handling multiple roles simultaneously. While his performance was outstanding, the demands eventually became unsustainable, leading him to make a decision he later regretted. After a short break, his back, refreshed and ready to continue. Tice expressed his satisfaction at ISEF's return, emphasizing that his experience will be crucial in auditing council budgets across the 10 local authorities currently governed by Reform UK. He noted that they have already begun identifying areas of waste, poor management, and, in some cases, possible misconduct, and that the party is firmly committed to addressing these failings. He added that the pace and pressure of politics can quietly build up until the strain becomes overwhelming. He also condemned the wave of highly offensive abuse ISEF received online, describing it as unacceptable and vile. Nigel Farage also commented on the matter, describing ISEF as visibly burnt out after working alongside him almost constantly for the past 11 months. The controversy that triggered this episode arose after Reform UK's new MP, Sarah Pochin, posed a question to Labour leader Keir Starmer during Wednesday's Prime Minister's questions, asking about the legality of women wearing the burqa in the UK. Pochin had recently won the run-on seat in a by-election. ISEF responded by calling the intervention misguided, prompting a swift backlash on social media. In response to the uproar, a party spokesperson clarified that banning the burqa is not part of Reform UK's official policy. While ISEF will not return to his role as party chairman, he will lead the newly created unit focused on monitoring public spending, with a particular emphasis on the 10 councils under Reform UK's control. His role will involve closely examining how local resources are managed and identifying potential inefficiencies. Despite the controversy surrounding the burqa issue, ISEF stated that if he were an MP, he would vote in favour of a ban. Nonetheless, he reiterated his full support for Sarah Pochin, praising her as an outstanding MP and an excellent representative. Zia ISEF's turbulent week highlights both the intense internal pressures within Reform UK and the volatile, often unforgiving nature of today's political landscape. His sudden resignation, driven by exhaustion and intensified by a torrent of online abuse, underscores the emotional and psychological toll that high-level political roles can exact, particularly in fast-growing, high-profile parties. ISEF has been a key figure behind the scenes, dedicating months of uninterrupted effort to responsibilities that would normally be spread across multiple teams. Although he stepped down as chairman, his return just 48 hours later to lead the new department demonstrates both his resilience and Reform UK's continued confidence in his leadership. This new role will allow him to continue advancing the party's vision from a vital position, overseeing how public funds are managed at the local level, at a time when transparency and efficiency are central priorities for the movement. What are your thoughts on everything that's unfolded this week? Feel free to leave your comments below. If you found this report helpful, don't forget to support the channel by giving it a like and subscribing to stay updated on British politics. See you in the next video.